Now at 9, Joplin residents remember the 2011 tornado victims with a memorial run. Plus, Neosho National Fish Hatchery honors veterans with a Veterans Derby. And Shed Farms hosts its 3rd annual Homestead Festival for area families.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Carrie Worthen. The annual Joplin Memorial Run commenced today to remember the Joplin tornado. KOAM Shagun Babadelli has more.
The annual Joplin Memorial Run, held in commemoration of the tornado that struck in 2011, commenced today. The event is now in its 12th year.
To come to one day to celebrate our recovery from the tornado and all the wonderful help we got from all across the world, and to just be grateful for the health we have and the vibrance in this city.
Mitchell says this day signifies the resilience of Joplin City.
It signifies our recovery, resilience, and it's just a great day. I look forward to it every year.
A participant says the race was rewarding.
Finishing got rough there, few bits, but it was very rewarding in the end.
Although it was also challenging.
About mile 10, my knees started to hurt, but you push through.
The Memorial Run demonstrates the power of the community coming together in the face of adversity.
Police officers, sheriff's department all along the way, protecting us and cheering us on, and the volunteers handing out water and Gatorade and all the things, and it's just a wonderful, supportive event.
Good job, little man. Good job.
In Joplin, Shagun Babadelli, KOAM News.
More than 1,500 people participated in the run today. That run honors more than 150 people that were killed and over 1,000 others that were injured when an EF5 tornado hit Joplin, Missouri on May 22, 2011. Thousands of homes were destroyed. The storm packed winds in excess of 200 miles per hour and was on the ground for more than 22 miles. To this day, the Joplin tornado ranks as one of the Missouri's and the United States' deadliest tornadoes. According to the NOAA, it ranks as the costliest tornado in U.S. history with $2.8 billion in damages. The Neosho Fish Hatchery celebrated 135 years of fishing fun today with a Veterans Derby. Veterans were able to enjoy the nice weather while catching some fish. Lunch was provided for the attendees along with a free t-shirt, and volunteers cleaned and bagged all the ones caught on ice.
Today is our annual Veteran Fishing Derby. This is our derby that kicks off the whole year of derbies. And we like to start off with our veterans. And this year is actually a special year, 135th year of operation.
No licenses or tags are required to fish at the derby. The Carthage Humane Society celebrates their 75th anniversary. The celebration had Zach Burleson and his band playing as community members enjoyed food from a food truck and bake sale.
We just wanted to have an event for the public to come out and be able to see all the animals, to donate if they can, whether it be food, supplies, or money. We're a nonprofit, so we're 100% rely on the public.
Raffle prizes were also given out, and most importantly, adoption specials for the animals. The Joplin History and Mineral Museum hosts a spring rock show. Gems, minerals, fossils, and handmade jewelry were just some of the rocks at the show. Mother Road Coffee and Holy Tacos were set up for the rock enthusiasts to enjoy while looking, purchasing, and asking questions about the Earth's treasures.
Today, this entire weekend is our 16th annual Spring Rock Show, and we have people who've come from all over the area to both show their material and as well as come to see what we have to offer.
The Spring Rock Show will continue tomorrow until 3 p.m. The 3rd annual Shed Farm Homestead Festival kicked off in Garland, Kansas. The historical activities, farm tours, a plant pavilion. There was so much to do for the whole family. Tons of children activities, from making butter, milking cows, and even an animal area kept kids busy also while learning.
Our third year, and we are trying to show people what we do with our greenhouse, our gardens, our irrigations, and our composting, as well as that everybody have a good time.
The event lasted 7 hours, which gave plenty of time for visitors to shop at the many vendors that were set up. Now we'll go to Chloe how do I say your last name again?
Arroyo.
Arroyo. I'm going to get that one day with our look at our weather.
You're all good. My pawpaw can't even say it. It's all good. Yeah, so we've got some very nice temperatures going on right now. It's set up to be a beautiful day today, and it'll continue to be even more beautiful as we head into tomorrow. Current temperatures hanging around in the mid to lower 60s. 62 for Pittsburgh, 65 for Joplin. Iola up there at 63 degrees. Now as we head into tonight, we'll cool down just a hair, not too much more. We'll hang around in the upper 50s. Our low being 57, but we'll warm up pretty quickly, hitting those 70 degrees marks by the time we get into the mid-morning, around the Sunday brunch hours as you head into your Sunday morning. Now, coming up here in a bit, we've got lots to talk about. Our warm Sunday ahead. We also have quite a bit of chances of rain as we head into this week. I'll have the timeline for all of that and more coming up here in just a bit.
Thank you, Chloe. The only living suspect in the 1999 disappearance of 2 Oklahoma girls has been released from prison. Scott Martin has more on how one of the victims' families is reacting.
Wearing a shirt with the faces of Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman, Laura's mom, Lorene, says this moment took her back to December 1999.
He has more rights than the victim does.
Bible is being a voice for change, standing against prisoners' early release when it involves certain crimes.
I either got to go hide in the closet or I have to be my daughter's voice. I don't go hide from nothing, so I'll be her voice.
She says there are faults in the system that need addressed so another family doesn't go through the pain she's living with.
Had we fought the system 23 years, 4 months, and 19 days ago when it happened against the police department, the sheriff department, the OSBI at the time that did not do their job and put change then, what happened in Henrietta would not have happened.
Showing his support for Lorene was Larry Dean. His daughter Dina Dean was murdered in 1998. The case has gone cold, but he knows he could be in Lorene's shoes.
And I don't know if Daddy is strong enough to stand out here on the street if it was Dina's killer being released.
Both fighting for justice for their loved ones, fighting for laws to make convictions stronger.
When you get put in jail, you're going to stay.
You know, Laura and Ashley, this will be their legacy. Change for the future.
Coming up, how the use of marijuana can affect your heart if used too often. A new report finds record number of American workers are testing positive for marijuana. Lab company Quest Diagnostics studied more than 6 million general workforce urine tests last year. It found 4.3% of workers tested positive for marijuana use. The report also found 7.3% of workers tested positive for marijuana following on the job accident last year. That's the highest level in 25 years. A new study finds risks to your heart if you regularly smoke marijuana. Scientists at New Jersey's Hackensack University Medical Center says marijuana users have high risk of peripheral artery disease, or PAD. The researchers collected anonymous patient data from more than 623,000 marijuana users and found 2,424 were diagnosed with PAD. PAD happens when blood flow is reduced to the arms and legs from excess plaque built up that narrows arteries. May is National Stroke Awareness Month, and along with education on strokes, doctors are looking for answers to why strokes are happening in younger patients. Fox Joy Addison joins us with more.
The American Stroke Association reports more strokes in people under age 50. One Houston doctor says, "We're not sure exactly why, but changes in our lifestyles could be the answer."
This was my first real health problem. So out of nowhere, it just happened.
Started Friday night after Thanksgiving. with him complaining of a really bad headache.
That headache was actually a stroke, which led to a brain bleed and several life-saving efforts by HCA Houston Healthcare after 29-year-old Daniel Gaynor's major organs began to fail.
When Dr. Algano came, he said the odds were not very good. Even if they could fix it and stop the bleeding, there was not a guarantee that he would survive.
Mrs. Gaynor, I went to her twice. I was like, I don't think he's going to survive.
Doctors were able to stop the bleeding and reverse his organs failure. His doctor says 29 is young for a stroke, but the American Stroke Association reports the incidence of stroke among adults ages 49 and younger in the U.S. has continued to increase over the last 30 years.
10 to 15% of all strokes occur in adults 50 or under.
Doctors caution younger people to know the warning signs for a stroke: face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time to call 911. Dr. Elganum says researchers are still looking for answers, but he has an idea why this could be happening.
In my opinion, it's more of the unhealthy life that we're living. A lot of junk foods, unhealthy food. People tend not to exercise, being busy in their busy life and working.
Dr. Elganum also suggests that neglecting health care or routine doctor visits during the pandemic could be another reason that we're seeing strokes in younger people more often. In Houston, Joy Addison, Fox News.
Chloe is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, Missouri Southern baseball takes on Minnesota State Mankato. Brock Baldwin will have the highlights in sports.
Well, in my professional opinion, today was a beautiful day, and tomorrow will be even better with those warmer temperatures. Let's take a current look at our Indigo Sky Casino and Resorts just west of Seneca, Missouri. Feeling very nice outside. Got that sunset, very beautiful view. So temperatures are also cooling down just a hair, but they shaped up very beautiful as we head into this afternoon. So temperatures topped out into the 70s, and now they're currently in the mid 60s, 65 for Columbus as well as Joplin, Nevada up there at 63. Grove a little warmer at 67 degrees. Above all, feeling very comfortable outside even as we head into those evening hours. But if you didn't get the chance to go outside today, tomorrow you still have that opportunity to do so. It'll be even better because those temperatures will be just a hair warmer, dipping into the 70s, close to the mid 70s for a couple of people within the viewing area, but for the most part we'll be in the lower 70s, still feeling very nice outside. A sunny Saturday is what we had, but an even warmer Sunday will come as we head into tomorrow, but that does come with a catch. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of chances for rain as we head into this week, specifically starting on Tuesday. Our first round will start around Tuesday evening. And mind you, none of this is severe, which is good, but we're just seeing a little bit of straggling rain here and there. So Tuesday will be the first beginning of that, and then we'll see some more widespread rain Wednesday afternoon before we see our next round of rain. We'll get a little bit of a break, and then we'll get some more rain even on Thursday morning into Thursday evening. Once again, get a little bit of a break, and then you know the drill. Friday afternoon into the evening hours, we'll see our next chance for rain, which will lead us into the weekend. But let's take a look back at our evening, our beautiful evening without any of that rain involved. Earlier this afternoon, around 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., we were in the upper 60s. As we head into tonight, we're going to dip down into the upper 50s, 59 for 10 p.m., 57. As we get to 11 p.m., we've got a slight breeze, but it's going to calm down as we head into the later on evening hours. Now tonight, our temperatures will dip down into the upper 50s and won't get any lower than that. Our low scheduled to be 57, and then we'll warm up pretty quickly as we head into the mid-morning hours around your Sunday brunch time, around 71 by 10 a.m. So feeling very nice, warming up very quickly. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Temperatures feeling very seasonal, but very nice and comfortable until we get into the rest of the end of the week. Actually, we'll get into the 80s, so feel a little bit on the warmer side, which that is up to you to decide whether you like that or not. But yeah, really get that rain on your calendar, because pretty much Tuesday on for the rest of the week, we'll see some rain.
All right, well, it looks like a lot of rain every day, but there's only a small percentage, so hopefully we can dodge some of that rain for people's plans.
Yes, that's the good part about it. We won't have very much widespread rain. So
all right, thank you, Chloe. Experts are crisscrossing the state evaluating the state's wheat crop. So far, reports are saying that the crop is not looking good. Alex Juergens spoke with participants in the year's Kansas Wheat Tour about just how bad the crop is and what some farmers are doing to weather this difficult time.
This week, the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers is touring through various farm fields, much like this one just outside Wichita, to check on this year's crop progress as part of this year's Kansas Wheat Tour. And as it stands right now, it appears that this year's crop is in not that good of shape. Crews with backgrounds in milling, baking, food processing, and trading are walking the fields around Kansas, getting a look at the state's most well-known crop. Some of them seeing a wheat field for the first time. Clay Shem has been traveling with the group. He's a farmer in Wallace and Morris counties. Crews are finding that this year's crop is in poor or very poor condition.
We haven't quite ran the numbers yet on our average yield, but I'm expecting it to be lower than it was last year and with a lot more abandoned acres along with it.
While rainfall has helped get the wheat to grow, Shem says for the crop to still be salvageable around the state is to add yield through bigger kernels and for more rain.
That does not add a ton of weight to, we'll have good test weights, we'll have good quality. On the side of that, we could see protein go down, so that ruins quality, but we could see good test weights if we keep that rain and that wheat finishes up.
Coming up, taking on foreign and domestic issues.
President Biden is meeting with world leaders at the G7 while keeping an eye on debt limit talks back in Washington. I'm Peter Ducey in Hiroshima, Japan. That story coming up.
If you're getting ready for Memorial Day travel, now you may catch a break on gas prices. The latest data from AAA says gas prices are holding steady. The national average for gas during the week ending May 18th was $3.53 a gallon, the same as the previous week. The Energy Information Administration says gas demand fell to 8.91 million barrels a day, down from 9.3 million barrels last week. U.S. travel hit a new pandemic air record on Friday. The Transportation Security Administration says it screened more than 2.6 million people at airports nationwide. That number represents a 10% increase over the same day last year and tops the previous pandemic mark of last year's Sunday after Thanksgiving. The record also sets the stage for what is expected to be a busy Memorial Day weekend travel period. AAA predicts air travel will be 11% higher than the same weekend in 2019. American Airlines and JetBlue must break up their partnership in the Northeast according to a new ruling from a federal judge. A win for the Justice Department after it sued to break up the alliance. The DOJ's lawsuit argued that the partnership violated antitrust laws by reducing competition in the airline industry and raising fares at the New York and Boston airports. Both airlines have 30 days to end their partnership and can appeal the ruling. Up next, two popular brands come together to create a new ice cream flavor. We'll tell you where you can get the new sweet treat. Two iconic brands team up to create a new ice cream flavor. Bluebell Ice Cream is partnering with Dr. Pepper for its newest flavor, Dr. Pepper Float. The flavor combines vanilla ice cream with a Dr. Pepper flavored sherbet. The ice cream is available now in 23 states, including Texas, Florida, Ohio, and Arizona through next year. It comes in pint and half-gallon sizes. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, a Missouri town is undergoing antique controversy. We'll take a look at the cause behind and how long flea markets have to clear out. A small town in the Ozarks is in the middle of an antiquing controversy. It's a hot enough issue to land in front of City Council. Lauren Schwarzenegger has that story.
We don't have a choice but to fight because it's our livelihood.
Sandra Girth is the owner of one of Billings' several flea markets.
The city and their friends and family members are the ones that are attacking us because they think this is unsightly to them.
We don't want a lawsuit on the city, nor you, nor an owner of a building.
Thursday night, the mayor warned all flea market owners that everything must be cleared off the sidewalks in the next 10 days because it's against city ordinance and state statutes.
And I cannot sit here and tell you that, yes, we're okay with you selling stuff on city property. we're okay with setting this up for a lawsuit.
The owners of the two stores, New Beginnings and Gone to the Dogs, say there's never been a safety issue and plan on reaching out to the county for help.
If you want to pursue the matter, you got until the end of June 1st, that's 10 days from now, to get it off, or take it to court.
It's something they plan on doing.
We've never had any complaints over the 20 years. We've had people in wheelchairs compliment on how easy it is to shop.
Police in Sapulpa, Oklahoma, near Tulsa, say a train derailed there today. Authorities say at approximately 8:47 Central Time, 2 cars carrying sand derailed. No injuries or hazmat involved. Personnel's on the scene who will work to re-rail the 2 cars. Cause is under investigation. Now I go to Chloe with a look at the weather.
Yeah, temperatures once again are feeling very comfortable outside, and they were a little on the warmer side, topping out in the low 70s to this afternoon. Current temperatures in the mid to lower 60s. Miami at 61, Joplin 65, Iola, and even Chanute a little bit warmer at 67 degrees right now. So feeling very comfortable even heading into the evening hours. As we get into tonight, we'll not get any lower than the upper 50s, 57 for our low, and we'll warm up pretty quickly as we head into the morning hours. We'll go from 58 at 7 a.m. to 71 degrees by your mid-morning hours. Now coming up here in a bit, we're going to talk about the warm Sunday that we have ahead, but also the multiple chances for rain. I'll have all of that timeline and more coming up here in a bit.
Thanks, Chloe. President Biden juggling both his global and domestic priorities while at this weekend's G7 summit in Japan. Fox News correspondent Peter Docky is traveling with the president and has the latest.
President Biden spending time with members of the so-called Quad on the sidelines of the G7 summit Saturday. The U.S., Japan, Australia, and India pledging a joint approach on a range of issues, including how to respond to China's growing influence and military presence in the region.
I think a great deal of the future of our world is going to be written here in the Indo-Pacific. And together, I think we're going to continue to ensure that the future provides more opportunity, prosperity, and stability than anything else.
And with so many world leaders in one place, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky paying a visit to Japan, getting a warm welcome as he tries to shore up more support for his country's continued defense against the Russian invasion. Zelensky thanking the U.S. for its decision to provide Ukrainian pilots with training for F-16 fighter jets.
I'm very happy. Thank you very much. They will help our society, our people, to save houses, families.
And while the president glad hands here in Hiroshima, he's also keeping an eye on what's happening back in Washington as talks continue over extending the debt limit with a June 1st deadline looming on the horizon. The two sides reportedly not close to a deal. Mr. Biden, however, says he's optimistic.
I still believe we'll be able to avoid a default and we'll get something decent done.
The president is set to fly back to Washington on Sunday, ending his Asia trip early as the White House tries to hammer out a deal. In Hiroshima, Peter Ducey, Fox News.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy criticizes President Biden's handling of the debt ceiling negotiations Saturday. McCarthy saying he doubts that the negotiations are going to be able to move forward until President Biden returns from the G7 summit in Japan. As President Biden cuts his time abroad short in order to address the debt ceiling issues brewing at home in Washington, the president is also postponing his plan to visit Australia for talks with Prime Minister Albanese. Still ahead, we'll take a look at sports betting in the United States and how it affects those states that have legalized it.
Well, you know, it's almost like we changed seasons in the past 24 hours. Yesterday was so gloomy and cold, and now we've got these warmer temperatures and a whole lot of sunshine. Let's take a look at our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just west of Seneca, Missouri. That sunset is gorgeous right now. It is beautiful out there. Temperatures are also cooling down just a hair with that. We topped out in the 70s today, feeling very comfortable and nice, and now we're hanging around in the mid to lower 60s across the board. 62 for Columbus as well as Joplin at 65, Nevada up here at 60 degrees, Garnett a little further north, you're at 61 degrees right now. So if you didn't get the chance to get out earlier this afternoon, tomorrow you have the opportunity to as well. And in my opinion, it'll be a lot nicer, even nicer if you can believe it, 73 for tomorrow. Some of us will hang around in the mid 70s while others will hang around in the lower 70s. Overall, not a huge difference. We'll start with a little bit of a chillier morning, but we'll warm up rather quickly as we head into the afternoon hours. Now, unfortunately, this beautiful weather isn't going to last much longer, and starting on Sunday, we have a little bit of a disturbance going on, which is going to cause us a lot of rain, or a lot of chances for rain, as we head into this week. Now, our first chance for rain, Tuesday evening, we'll see that first round. We'll get a little bit of a break as we head into Wednesday. We'll see some more widespread rain as we head Wednesday afternoon. This is pretty much all over the viewing area and beyond. And then as we head into the morning hours of Thursday morning, we'll see some scattered showers here and there. And then Friday as well, you know the drill, we'll see some on Thursday, and then we'll see some more on Friday. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is that none of this will be severe. It's just some rain here and there, so nothing to cancel your plans completely for, but something to keep in mind, especially if you have those outdoor plans in the afternoon and evening hours. But speaking of that evening tonight, feeling very nice, very comfortable and mild as we head into the evening hours. We'll stick around in the upper 50s. Those winds will begin to calm down as we head into 10, 11, being pretty calm outside, so just a little bit on the chilly side, but nothing compared to earlier in the season that we have seen. So temperatures tonight dipping down into the upper 50s, 57 for our low, but we won't stay cool for long. We'll warm up pretty quickly. 10 a.m. we'll see 71 degrees by then. So by your Sunday brunch, it'll feel nice and warm outside if you want to have that outdoor brunch with you. So let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. So we've got a lot of temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. And then we'll warm up into the 80s. The only downfall, put that on your calendar, Tuesday through Monday pretty much. We'll have a chance for rain, small chances, 10 to 20%, but definitely some chances for rain pretty much every day as we head throughout the rest of the week.
Right, and so, like you said, don't cancel your plans. So,
right.
All right, thank you, Chloe. Don't forget, you can be first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. New findings show that more than half of the world's largest lakes and reservoirs are going dry. The new large-scale study published Thursday in the journal Science says about 1/4 of the world's population, around 2 billion people, live in the basin of drying lake. They say they discovered a 53% drop in water storage during that time. Climate change is said to be the culprit of water evaporation. Coming up in sports, Missouri Southern baseball looks to advance to the regional championship this afternoon. And the Royals hit the road in the Windy City. We'll have the highlights next in sports.
The Missouri Southern Lions are still alive in the Division II Baseball National Tournament. Lions won the Central Region opener on Thursday, beating Arkansas Tech 4-3. Southern has a chance to move on to the regional championship this afternoon, facing Minnesota State Mankato in round 2. The city native kid Cole Gaiman on the mound for Southern. He gets a strikeout there to end the first inning. So top of the third inning, Ethan Clark at the plate. Lions is down the third baseline. Throw to first is a wild one. Lions take an early 1-0 lead off the air, but things got grim from there on out. Bottom of the third inning, 2-1 Minnesota State. Adam Schneider singles this to right field with the bases loaded. 2 runs come in to score. Minnesota State goes up 4-1. Bottom of the fifth now, Minnesota State starting to pour it on. Mavericks up 8-1. Jackson Hodge blast deep to left field. Drew Davis is out of room, and it's out of here. 3-run homer gives the Mavericks an 11-1 lead. Not much rolling for Missouri Southern today. Minnesota comes in and beats the Lions 13-2. So all come down to this. Missouri Southern Lions face the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders with their season on the line. Win or go home elimination game. At the moment, the Lions currently lead 11-4 over Southern Arkansas in the 9th inning. Missouri Southern holds on. They will take on Minnesota State tomorrow for a rematch at Warner Turner Field at noon. Well, the Crowder Rough Riders won their 4th straight regional championship last weekend. Crowder now advances to play in the South Central District Tournament for a spot at the JUCO World Series. Rough Riders host a top 15 battle against Delgado in their district tournament opener this afternoon. Rough Riders looking a little rough in the first inning. Delgado strikes first, RBI single by Jacob Singleton. Gets Delgado up 1-0. Later in the inning, same score. Jonathan Fairbus keeps us down the right field line, stays fair, and we'll roll all the way to the wall. 1 run scores, 2 runs score, 3 runs scored. It's a 3-run double. Delgado goes up 4-0. Crowder does settle in after the first inning. So bottom of the third now, 5-0 Delgado. David Johnson hits this off the first baseman's glove, and this rolls into the outfield. Rough Riders get on the board, down 5-1 after the RBI single, but the boys from New Orleans have been just too much today. Crowder loses to Delgado 8-5. The Rough Riders will turn right around and play Seminole State for Game 2, their doubleheader. Well, the Kansas City Royals dropped their series opener 1-0 last night to the Chicago White Sox. Royals managed to just get 1 hit in that game. Kansas City tries to keep the bats going this afternoon, Game 2 against Chicago. Royals and White Sox. First inning, Salvador Perez crushes it to left field, and you can forget about it. This puts the Royals up 1-0. Salvy's chirping with the White Sox dugout and receives boos from the crowd. How about that? Bottom of the first now, Chicago answers right back. Yohan Moncada with the 2-run single to left field. Southsiders take a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the 5th now, Jake Berger at the plate, and he'll clear the bases with everyone coming home on this play. White Sox take a 5-1 lead. That's the final score of the ball game. White Sox win it over the Royals 5-1. Dodgers and the Cardinals tonight. These two teams split the first 2 games of the series. Tonight, St. Louis picks up a big win. Cardinals defeat the Dodgers 6-5. Nolan Gorman goes 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Redbirds will cap off their series finale tomorrow at 1:15. And for the Crowder Rough Riders, well, they're currently still down to Seminole State, so we'll see the turnaround. If they don't, their season will end. But if it does end, it's been a fantastic season for Crowder once again.
Yes, and hopefully we'll hear the final score of that game.
Coming up at 10.
10. I lost track of time, sorry. Okay, we'll be right back. It's been 5 years since the Supreme Court struck down a federal law that effectively banned commercial sports betting in most states. And as Fox Matt Neapolitan reports, the availability of it in a majority of states has its benefits and drawbacks.
You may have placed your bets online, at a sports book, or maybe just seen the ads, but sports betting is certainly making its presence known across the U.S.
I'm hard-pressed to find an example of something that's moved so quickly through so many state houses as legal sports betting.
37 states and the District of Columbia have legalized sports betting following the Supreme Court tossing the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, also known as PASPA. But American Gaming Association President and CEO Bill Miller says bettors have been waiting in the wings for some time.
Before the Supreme Court decision, about 60% of Americans supported betting on sports. And in our most recent poll that we did, the American Gaming Association, 85% of the American people supported the decision on repealing PASPA and allowing for legal sports betting to happen in America.
But there are still concerns over gambling addiction, and more recently, concerns over college sports, particularly student athletes wagering.
I think it's really, really important that we treat these amateur athletes in a way that's respectful, and that we do everything that we can to make sure that they're educated with regard to what they can and cannot do as student athletes.
The concern about college sports and wagering isn't limited to just players. The University of Alabama fired baseball coach Brad Bohannon earlier this month following reports of suspicious wagering activity on Crimson Tide games. In New York, Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
Up next, we'll take you to a Kansas town that has been ranked the best small town art town in the U.S. For the 3rd year, the Northwest Kansas town of Lucas is being nominated in the USA Today's Best Small Town Art Scene in America. Reporter Austin Martin has more.
The Grassroots Art Center here in Lucas is home to several exhibits.
Grassroots art is art created by self-taught individuals.
Several materials make up these pieces.
There's a common use of concrete and materials that gets repeated across Lucas.
Lucas first became a hub for art several decades ago.
A lot of local citizens that ended up forming the Grassroots Art Association would travel around, find more of these artists, document them, maybe even bring some of the work back here, and then it would grow.
This art has become synonymous with the town, and now it's being recognized at a national level.
You're going to see all of these awesome art-related things growing in this small town of 300.
Lucas is nominated for Best Small Town Art Scene in America by USA Today. Selland says they need help to win that nomination.
Open up the voting for a few weeks, and you can go online every day and vote. We're currently ranked at 2nd, so we're hoping that we can have the best ranking yet.
It said there's a town of 300. That's a small town.
It's a small town, wow.
All right, Chloe, tell us about the weather.
Yeah, beautiful weekend, Saturday, Sunday, absolutely gorgeous, even on Monday as well. But really, get all the rain on your calendar from Tuesday into next Monday. Quite some time for the amount of rain that we've got.
All right, that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll leave you with the video of sea lions at Brookfield Zoo. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for making us a part of your night.